I don't think there's a person more saltier on this planet than Israel Adesanya right now. Like, seriously, guys, this guy is more salty than the Atlantic Ocean. Guys, I was feeling bad for Israel Adesanya. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, last week I was like, look, I'm kind of looking forward to his return. I kind of miss him, but we haven't seen him in a while. And I was thinking, hey, I might actually root for him against Dricus du Plessis. And all of that changed in a week because Israel Adesanya, yes, while UFC 300 took away the main headlines, I think a lot of people ignored Israel Adesanya's behavior this whole week because of UFC 300. And now that UFC 300 is done, it's time to talk about it. Guys, Israel Adesanya is not getting away with this because he did an interview with Ariel Helwani as well as doing multiple things throughout fight week. But before we get into anything else, I want to remind you guys the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. We're almost at 12K, guys. If you guys just hit the notification bell, it helps the algorithm suggest my video to more people that also like MMA, making my channel more successful. So if you like this video, please do that. Now, obviously, this was UFC 300 fight week. Main event was Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill, where, yes, Alex Pereira did beat Jamal Hill. We're not going to get into that here. I made tons of videos already talking about it. But as I said, I was feeling bad for Israel Adesanya, and then I see him post these Instagram stories just basically out of nowhere, just out of pettiness. There was no need. It's not like Alex Pereira is doing a big press tour talking shit about Israel Adesanya. The truth is that Alex Pereira has barely brought up Israel Adesanya throughout fight week. So I want to take a look at this interview with Israel Adesanya that he did on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, and I think this really goes to show what's going on with Israel Adesanya, as well as what his thought process is leading up to the Dricus du Plessis fight. Alright, Israel Adesanya, he's on the MMA Hour right now, as you guys can see, and I think that Israel Adesanya really sets the tone of his hypocrisy with this opening statement right here.
Because I was ready. I was training.
In your mind, was it a done deal?
I thought it was done. I was like, oh, I was training.
Wow.
I went to Switzerland. I was training probably about 4 weeks, 3 weeks, I was on.
So Israel Adesanya was training for UFC 300. You guys might recall they wanted to make the main event Israel Adesanya versus Dricus du Plessis, and obviously Dricus du Plessis, his side kind of fell out of things. Apparently he had a surgery per Israel Adesanya's manager, and obviously Dricus du Plessis wasn't able to compete this past weekend. Now Israel Adesanya, I hate to be this guy, but he could have fought Alex Pereira. That would have been a bigger fight to main event UFC 300. It would have made more sense. Yes, Israel Adesanya might not deserve a light heavyweight title shot, but I think the UFC would have done it if Israel Adesanya was down, and I don't think many people can deny that. I think it's just a simple fact Israel Adesanya was not down to fight Alex Pereira at UFC 300. And Ariel Helwani, credit to him, he actually asked Israel Adesanya about this.
Did you try to say, okay, I can't do the DDP, give me Alex? Because at that point, you know, it was still
Alex,
some rumors.
That's always there, but watch this. Okay, if I beat Alex next, fight him, knock him the fuck out again, what are they gonna say? Okay, no, it's 3-2 now. Okay, let's best out of 7.
Right.
Like, who am I fighting for?
And Israel Adesanya here is just making a dumb argument on purpose, just so everybody will be like, yeah, that makes sense. Why wouldn't Israel Adesanya do that? If he went out there and beat Alex Pereira, especially at 205 pounds, you would get so much credit. Let's not lie. Anybody with a brain, first of all, this is their trilogy in MMA. Technically in MMA, they're 1-1, so yes, there is the rivalry there. Secondly, another thing to consider is that Israel Adesanya hasn't just been pure dominated by Alex Pereira this whole time. If we're going to be unbiased here, the first kickboxing fight, it was close. Some people gave it to Israel Adesanya. Some people said it was a robbery. Second fight, obviously, Pereira won pretty clearly, knocked out Israel Adesanya cold. Obviously, Izzy had some success. I'm just not going to get into that. That first fight they had in MMA, Alex Pereira was on his way to losing until he got TKO'd in that 5th round, arguably an early stoppage too. And in the second fight, we flip it where Alex Pereira looked like he was having moments, looked like that he was going to finish Adesanya, and Adesanya pulls out the out-of-nowhere knockout. So if Israel Adesanya went out there and beat Alex Pereira in a way that was satisfying, I think he would definitely close up their rivalry. And especially doing at 205 pounds, like, hey, the rebuttal here for Israel Adesanya is, well, hey, Alex Pereira got knocked out because of the weight cut. I've said that myself. You would knock all those allegations out right out of the park if you would have just fought him at UFC 300 at 205 pounds or even at all, but he doesn't want to do that because I'm not even going to say he's scared. He just doesn't want to risk it because he knows how tough of a matchup Alex Pereira is. He knows he's walking away with the win, and he's going to get into that right here.
Whatever people want to say, like, oh, well, do this, do that, even for him, you know why they're asking for the fight? Because they need it. You know why I don't ask for the fight? Because I don't need it.
Really sounds like somebody who doesn't need it, just angrily, you know, just talking about, like, look at his face right here. Like, Ariel Helwani even looks a little disturbed. This is the sound of a guy who doesn't need this win. Also, I hope when he's referring to they, he's talking about Alex Pereira fans, because Alex Pereira has made it clear time and time again, he doesn't think the fight with Israel Adesanya is ever going to happen. As a matter of fact, he even offered to train with Israel Adesanya. Does that sound like someone that's hungry to get that win back? Absolutely not, because I think Alex Pereira even knows, hey, 9 times out of 10, he beats Israel Adesanya. That's at least what I believe. And if Israel Adesanya doesn't want us thinking that, well, go prove it. You beat him once out of 4 times. Like, congratulations, that's the saddest thing to celebrate. And even Alex Pereira, his call out to Israel Adesanya at UFC 295 was very respectful, saying he just wanted to give Izzy that hunger back and gifted him a title shot at 205 pounds. But Israel Adesanya still makes these salty memes. Why? Because in all truthfulness, this is him projecting. This is how he feels. And we're going to get into him talking about Sean Strickland, because this is another level of delusion we're going to see right here.
But they did the open workout, right?
Yeah, the week of the fight.
He's talking about UFC 293 fight week.
Yeah.
I hate those. But you saw I brought these kids up on stage, and then at one point I tried to do a push-up. And some people noticed on Twitter, they mentioned something, but it never really got traction. But again, for me, I just wasn't.
Well, you didn't feel the...
No, I wasn't really healthy at the time.
Like, just say you were injured. Like, at this point, you're hinting around, trying to beat around the bush, trying to claim you're not the type of guy to make excuses. This is all excuse making. And I have been an Israel Adesanya defender in the past. People said that he made excuses for the Alex Pereira loss. People said that he made excuses for Jan Blachowicz. I thought he handled both those losses pretty well. This loss, he hasn't. I'm going to get into at the end of the video why he's not handling this loss so well. Even later, Israel Adesanya, you're going to see he makes salty remarks and salty jokes about Sean Strickland. Like, we're going to see here.
And what a reign. I mean...
Obviously criticizing.
Amazing what he's done. Great. I love it.
Obviously criticizing Sean Strickland for losing to Dricus du Plessis, not having a title defense, and just making a little shot at him for that. He even says the same joke again, expecting us to laugh when really nobody is laughing.
What a reign, though.
Yeah, same joke.
Amazing.
Could I ask about...
No one, like, literally no one in that room laughed. Like, nobody's laughing. Like, nobody saw that and laughed unless you're a diehard Israel Adesanya fan. And I don't want to drag this out for more. I want to show you guys one of the more hypocritical statements Israel Adesanya makes in this video.
Next year, I think 4 fights, as much as you can. Now, I'm at the point where I get it. Most champions weren't doing what I do. They fight once or twice a year. But now I'm here, I'm like, look, quality over quantity. That's it. That's all it's about. So, yeah, now it's just about not trying to do as much as I can, but make sure I do the right things for myself.
Wow, I'm glad Israel Adesanya finally came to this conclusion that it's quality over quantity. If only that same logic applied to Dricus du Plessis, who literally is coming off of a surgery, and you're criticizing him for not being like you and taking the fight. You can't really make that argument when you're already using your loss to Sean Strickland as an excuse, saying that you had so many injuries, yet you're criticizing Dricus du Plessis for not doing the same thing, and then later on in this interview saying, hey, that he should have been doing what Dricus du Plessis is doing without bringing up Dricus du Plessis, because then, yeah, he would just be super hypocritical. Izzy also goes on at one point talking about how Sean Strickland apparently talked about his family, which just is not true. Sean Strickland didn't bring up his family, he brought up his dog. So there's videos of Israel Adesanya, you know, doing weird things too, let's just say. And at the end of the day, I think this loss is really affecting him, and I think we're going to see this in the Dricus du Plessis fight. I think specifically the build-up. He might win against Dricus du Plessis. I made a video talking about why you shouldn't count out Israel Adesanya. But when you look at his past losses, I mean, the loss to Jan Blachowicz, obviously I was moving up a weight class, a close decision at the end of the day. I believe it was like 3-2. Then you got Alex Pereira, who he was winning against the whole time, and that finish was kind of an early stoppage in my opinion, and I think a lot of other people kind of considered. Not saying that I think that the fight wouldn't get called off eventually. I'm not mad at that stoppage, because at the end of the day, I think Israel Adesanya would have got TKO'd anyway. But I'm just saying, guys, point is, it wasn't an embarrassing loss. And this was a loss where not only did people think that Sean Strickland had no chance of winning, this is a fight where Sean Strickland absolutely embarrassed Israel Adesanya at the press conference and went out there and completely outclassed. And I don't think Israel Adesanya was injured, guys. I think he might have had a few issues here and there, but I don't think that's what caused him the loss. Look at what Sean Strickland did. He had the perfect game plan. Israel Adesanya was backed up. Sean Strickland was very conservative with his shots. He wasn't just throwing hard shots trying to land on Izzy. He was very technical and tried to outstrike him with his jab, tried to out-jab him. And that was a really good game plan against Israel Adesanya. It was kind of a similar way that Alex Pereira fought Israel Adesanya. But at the end of the day, Israel Adesanya is extremely salty, guys. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. And as always, we're going to wrap this video up by reading the top comments in the last video. If you guys missed it, I made a video talking about Dustin Poirier fighting Islam Makhachev, as well as some of the other fights Dana White announced, including McGregor versus Chandler. Here are the top comments from that video. Gaethje should fight Patty. Yeah, I think so too, if you guys want to see the first murder in the octagon. Like, no, Patty is not ready for Gaethje whatsoever. UFC is absolutely stacked even if McGregor never comes back. Not every event is a banger, but majority are. And the UFC has, yes, gotten so big that their promotion, just the name the UFC, is bigger than most of the fighters. The only fighter that is probably bigger than that name is Conor McGregor, and that's what makes him so unique. And I think that's why when he headlines, him mixed with UFC just makes a massive pay-per-view. But guys, that video is going to be on the screen right now. Make sure to go check it out. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best fan base ever. Make sure to leave comments, likes, all that. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, join the Discord server in the link in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one.